Morning, Jeremy.
Yeah, there we go. We're recording. So, so I'm joined with Ben. Ben is over in Northern Ireland,
Yep.
and is in the kind of hospitality, food and beverage type industry. And he's picked up a couple of bars recently. Yeah, both of them are bars, aren't they?
Both of my bars, stroke restaurants. I suppose you'd liken them both to Harvesters. There's like a family bar with a restaurant upstairs.
Yeah.
But really running from 8 to 1, 7 days a week, so it never really stops.
Yeah, yeah. And both of those were sites you were kind of aware of, and then you just went and relentlessly hounded them to find the owners or the people that could do something. Yeah.
Yeah. So I put the word out. The first one, the first one I didn't know about. I came to your course in September, and I immediately got on the phone. I think the Monday I came back from your course. So I got back on Sunday night, and I think the Monday I started stalking the guy because I knew that he was in the mind of selling, but I started stalking him. I'd left messages, I'd done a bit and pieces, and then it got to the fact where I just got Facebook. So found out, got his Facebook, sent him a private message. He called me within about 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I met him 2 days later for a cup of coffee and tried to chat to him about a structure where, there was a bit of money left, but a bit of money down. I paid him over 6 months, and he immediately said no. So I said, no problem at all. There's plenty more fish in the sea, and we paid for his coffee and walked on. And then about 3 weeks later, I got a phone call back, and he says, "You still want to do that deal?" And I said, "Well, to be honest, I've started looking at something else," which I had. And he said, "Well, it's 20 grand cheaper, and I'll let you pay it over the hurdles. But I want some money down." So I gave him 20 grand down, but he left 15 grand in the safe and stock, and a kitchen worth so the stock was about 100 grand.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid sort of 20 for about 100 already, right, just sitting in place.
Yeah.
And then I paid the balance over 6 months.
Yeah, and that's all stuff you had to have bought to get going anyway, isn't it? So
yeah. So it's funny. It was just timing. 3 weeks later, VAT return due. I knew he was sick of it. So prime spot, but it was just a secondary business to him. I knew he had another business that was thriving. So It was the ideal scenario. So that was that. Did have to pay some money, so I was a bit disappointed that that I had to do that. And then again, I thought about your sort of joining up industry. So that was our second venue. I immediately went for a third venue. It's the same thing again. Stock. The owner left cards in. Couldn't even find out who it was. I went to sort of land registry to see if the tenants, the lease was registered. Couldn't find a thing. And I had a random conversation with an agent who turned out he knew the landlord. Turns out they weren't paying the best. And 3 months later, we had taken over the whole premises. Lease was finalised, and I ended up paying 1,500 quid for legal fees at 6 months rent free. So that was a true no money down. And using your strategies, we managed to secure about 100,000 from different drinks companies for a refurb.
Lovely.
So we are closed at the moment, reopen in 8 weeks, fully refurbed, and 1,500 quid for the lease. So that's where we've got to. Turned out okay.
That's a real no money down one. So the goal then is basically build a food and beverage empire and go public, or do something.
I don't know about going public. It's funny, we talked the last time. I hadn't even thought about joining up with people outside Northern Ireland. I thought it was because it's very location tied.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm open to anything. What my plan was to get a sort of a 10 venue, which was about 15 million turnover, hopefully get a 1.5 on the EBITDA, which is it's tight. It's sort of tight revenues. And then hopefully someone will buy me. There's a couple of hotel chains that are branching into smaller venues, locally. But yeah, the idea would be to bunch a lot together, take off 2 or 3 and keep them as a hobby, keep the sort of best performing ones, and then sort of gather the rest of them together and get them into somebody.
Fantastic. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, and are you actively stalking the next ones?
I have two sites in mind. Yeah, there's one on the north coast where the Open was recently. So there's very little up at the north coast of Ireland. So I have one there that actually closes in the winter, and there's so many people around it. So it's a next target.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
And cool, yeah. So already stalking the next ones. And so in terms of like joint venture opportunities, then food and beverage, restaurants, bars.
Well,
ideally Northern Ireland, but you would look at potentially other stuff outside if.
I would look at other stuff. I mean, that's the local. To be honest, my primary business is telecoms,
Right.
and I've started the ball rolling. I've been chatting to some of the Harbour Clubbers. Hopefully coming to meet Mark at some point in the next month or so.
Yeah.
There's Jamil's in there as well. So we specialise in the IoT and mobile space, which Mark doesn't work at. So having a chat with him. But we would really like to be honest, it's a real drag, that business. I'm not happy. I've been doing it for 3 years. I'm bored with it.
Right.
I want to try and make some value with it. I've already been offered money for it, and I know you told me the last time sell it, but it's not enough. I know you're going to argue with me there. But I want to try and get it as big as possible over the next year and get it away from me because it's not making me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Mergers, maybe the quick way to scale.
I think that's the best way I'm going to try and work with. I've got 3 or 4 guys that I had chatted to. We're more like a wholesaler. So I've got my existing customers would be my ideal scenario or my ideal candidates to merge with. So I'm going to start engaging with them.
Yep, the vertical integration. And I guess in terms of the Harbour Club community, then people with IT, telecoms, those sorts of businesses.
They're all complementary for like a cross-sell, upsell. Like even chatting to Mark, we both have billing systems that cost us a few grand a month.
Yeah.
All our staffing costs, 2 bookkeepers, 3 customer service. So there are quite easy synergies, which I actually was going through my figures last night. I can cut about 12 or 13,000 pound a month just straight off the top.
Yeah. It does. Telecoms is very acquisitive for exactly that reason. Yeah, there's a lot of duplication into small telcos.
Well, funny, that's how I found you. Actually, I was just looking at it. There was a telco. I think it was your first video about telecoms.
Yeah,
and that's sort of where it came about because I wanted to get out.
Yeah.
Found your initial video, and that was that.
There we go. Cool. So well, anyone out there, if you have something in telecoms or something in IT or a bar or restaurant in Northern Ireland, then reach out to Ben and see if there's a joint venture there to be done. Is there anything else you'd want to add? Or
I don't think anything else for the Harbour Clubbers. I did want to chat to you about there are some larger companies that would be past the sort of the 5 million, which I'd be out of my depth with, but I know that I know they're in the process of being sold. So actually, John sent me a video yesterday about virtual mergers and trying to get these guys into some sort of option. So if you could point me in the right direction of who might structure that or talk me through that type of structure.
Well, yeah, if they're, are they over sort of 500,000 to 1 million of EBIT, sort of?
One of them is my old company that I started back in 2006, and it's going to be resold again. It's probably about 2.5 million of EBIT.
Yeah, those I'm always happy to joint venture on, and we can pitch them together. The obvious solution is often agglomeration, because agglomeration is kind of the evolution of virtual merger, because you get a much bigger upside through the large public company valuation than trying to put together the private sale. But either would work, and I'd be more than happy to joint venture and we'll pitch them together.
Okay, I'll get you the list. I'm just going to write the list of the guys that I know that are trying to get out. To be honest, most of the time it's partners falling out. So the 3 that I have in mind, the 2 directors, don't talk to each other anymore. So we're sort of giving them an option where one could maybe stay in as a
management continuity is quite key. But yeah, let's have a look at them on a case by case basis. So I'll stop the recording anyway. So let's,
okay.